domestic violence. I'm a great-grandmother, and I have experienced domestic violence because I was in a domestic violence with my husband. And it got so bad till we separated. That's why we are separated today, as of today. My experience of domestic violence was between man and wife, husband and wife. That's my experience of domestic violence. That's the experience that I had. And I advise anyone today, if you're in a relationship as a man and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend, make sure that you don't carry that into your marriage. Because if you carry it into your marriage, then it affects your children that you have. We just didn't communicate, and we argued a lot, and we fought a lot. And I had 3 children, and we did that in front of them. And once I decided that that wasn't a good experience to be in front of children doing that, I didn't do it. I decided that it was time for us to get a divorce. And that is the reason why I got a divorce from him, is because we couldn't get where we would have a communication with each other, where we would get along with one another. And so there wasn't nothing else to do but to separate, because keep living that kind of life in front of children is no good. I advise anybody, if you can't get along and come a way in that you can communicate with one another, it's time to separate if you have children, because there's no example for kids. I have found that it affected my grown kids as of today, and those kids are in their 60s, and they still carrying some of that along with them now as senior citizens. And if you divide it, it's no good. That domestic problem is a bad situation to have in front of your children. Well, it's something that you don't really notice when you're in a relationship with a person until after you sometimes is married to them, and then after you're married and they get into the work business and the type of work that my husband was involved in was a barber shop, and he had a business of his own that he ran the barber shop, and different women's coming in and out, and he got way in that he would have relationship or wanted to talk to different women and had no respect for his wife. And when it get way in that they don't have any respect for their wife, it's time for some separation to be done. If not, you're going to continue to have violence, and somebody's not going to be satisfied with the other one. And I don't want to just put it all off on him. It was that maybe I could have done better than what I did, but I didn't do anything to try to solve the issue. So the issue only got worse. And after it got worse, we ended up in court. And that's where we got to the divorce. We split from each other. The legal road was that it was advised that he go his way and I go mine. And whatever we had accumulated together, because we both had our jobs, whatever we accumulated together, we had to split it halfway. One half went to him and one half went to me. And by me having a child, we had a house, and the house went to me because we had to have some place to stay. But the house would have not went to me if I wasn't in the position to finish paying for the house, because we had a mortgage on it, and it wasn't paid for at the time that we decided to get a divorce from each other. I kept it more private, but when I decided to get a lawyer, they give you 1 year to reconsider come together on it before they complete the divorce for you. So we never could, within that 1 year, we didn't come together of any way. So that's why we ended up getting a divorce from each other. With their little ones or partners, I find that my oldest son, he carried the same thing that he received in our household to his household. And if he had not experienced that, I feel like that he wouldn't have been the type of violent man that he was towards his lady friend. The other children don't seem to hold on to it as much as the oldest one did. The oldest one seems to me is the one that's got more experience into what was happening into the house. He hold on to it, and he's still holding on to it till this day. And I think that it's just something that he won't turn loose, wherein he should have, because he is his own man now, and he should be able to let it go, but he won't let it go. And he'll sit up this day and talk to you about what happened between his mother and father. And I feel like somewhat I'm responsible for that, because if you didn't put this out there or in front of them for them to be experienced to it, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. They would be better people. Yeah. And it carried, and that was from fighting to profane language to anything that was unpleasant. I married a young man that wasn't brought up with a father. And my belief, my dad taught me in my day that always check a family's background as to making sure a man or a woman have had that experience of a mother and father. When they come from a broken home, it leads into another broken home. And I often think about that. That is the reason why I got involved with a man that came from a broken home, and he didn't know no other way but violence. He didn't have the experience of how a man should treat a woman.